Good morning, crew, and welcome to Monday Mobility. I'm very excited for this session today because boy, do I need it. And no doubt we all do. This session that I wanted to run through today is a 20-minute hip mobility session. It really helps to unstick the hips and get some rotation through the body. Now, this would be my session that I recommend to most people 3 times a week. If you have 20 minutes, you can cut this one back. If you only have 10, and even doing it 3 times a week for 10 minutes would make a really big difference to most people for their hip mobility. Our hips get stuck for a few reasons. It could be if we're seated a lot. What is happening with my words today? Seated a lot, or if we're super active. Either way, we're going to get really tight through the hips generally and lose a bit of rotation. So let's get into it. You will need a cushion today. I'd suggest something quite thick. Otherwise, you could grab a towel, something like that. So starting off near the wall, we're going to go into couch stretch. I know I do this one a lot, but I think for most people, it's really what we need. So popping your pillow near the wall or near a couch, and then your knee goes right as close as possible into the section between the floor and the wall. We bring the other leg forward. Now you should be feeling this through your front quad or hip flexor. We really try to tuck under through the hips. Just pop a timer on here. We're going to go for 90 seconds. Tucking under through your hips and then trying to move your chest and your shoulders back to the wall. If this is too much for you, you can have one hand or both hands on the ground. You could have both hands on a couch or a table, elbow to knee, anything that feels like you're getting a good opening through that hips without putting too much strain. So we really want to stay at that 6 or 7 out of 10 without moving to a 9 or a 10 out of 10 where you're going, oh, this is so intense. So holding here. As we get into the stretch more, you can come up a little higher. Just keep drawing rib cage in and hips forward. So trying to stay relaxed. As I said, 90 seconds here. I'm not going to talk through a lot of the stretches today and just give you space to open up. I'll just give you little reminders as we go. Sometimes I get too excited about mobility and I'll end up chatting the whole time. 20 seconds. Face relaxed. Good, and come on down. So hands come on the inside of your leg and your front leg moves forward. So moving now into like a deep lunge. So it's more like a yoga position. You might feel it more still in that right hip flexor and quad or into your left hamstring. So take a moment here, not quite as long, 1 minute here. Make sure that knee isn't flaring out to your side and you're kind of just keeping in that position. You can come down to your elbows if that feels like a better stretch for you, but it won't necessarily feel more intense or better in a good way. Now this last one, I'd say, for me, is by far the most intense. So we're shifting back, straightening that front leg, and going to, should be straight leg if you can, it doesn't matter if it's slightly bent, and then rotating your hips. So this straight leg, you're pulling that hip flexor back towards the wall. So this whole hip is rotating back towards the wall. It's a strong stretch through this quad and hip flexor. Trying to relax here if you can. Got 1 minute left here. This is much more intense into the quad normally for most people than that first stretch. And feel free to pad up the bottom of that leg. There's no right way around it. So if you need this front leg bent and then coming back, I still feel that as intensely here. It just takes out the hamstring stretch there. So as much as there are kind of instructions around this mobility, just move in a way that feels right for you. 30 seconds. Draw the belly button in, hips forward, rib cage down makes a huge difference. Two more breaths. Good. Okay, coming out there. Just taking a moment to stand up. Take your time. Just give that leg a moment. We're going to change sides. So other leg comes back and against the wall. Do the same side as me, that's left knee back. Right knee forward. And we start with couch stretch. This is generally the one that we'll do for the longest. Even if you did this one, say 3 times a week, just 2 minutes each side, it'll make a big difference quite quickly. Settling in. Halfway. Draw the belly button in. Close the gap between the rib cage and the hip flexor. Two more breaths. And then after that second exhale, coming down, moving that front foot, so be your right foot forward, coming into that deeper lunge. 1 minute here. Just feels different. For me, this moves it higher up into the hip flexor and more away from the quad. Letting the hips sink down. Every time you feel your body like hitting tension and resisting, just try and breathe and see if it releases. Last breath there. And shifting back, straightening that front leg. Or keep it on a bend. If you have it straight, the balance is a bit off, so you might need like a pole or something to hold on to. I can have it still a bit bent and it's still quite intense for me. Super tight through the hips at the moment. So holding on there. Got a minute left here. Imagining that your shoulders are moving back towards the wall. Drawing your belly button in and you're driving your hips forward. If you lose your balance here, it's totally fine. Just keep coming up. As I said, holding on to something could be super helpful. Rotating the hips, drawing that right hip back in the socket, left hip forward. And coming out there, well done. Okay, so stand up if that feels good for you. Otherwise, just coming on the mat for a moment and lying down flat. So just take a second. It's like in yin yoga, how we have a rebound pose. Just allow the hips to settle. Okay, Coming up, we're going to go into pigeon or deer. So with the front leg, we'll go the left leg at 90 degrees, bring the back leg back. So pigeon, you're going to be coming up with that back leg straight. For me, that's too intense at the moment, so I just bend the back leg slightly and come into a more like a deer pose. Wherever you are, you should make sure that there's no tension through this front knee. You're feeling it in that left glute. So find that position on your left-hand side and then just test, does it feel more intense towards your foot, your shin, or your knee? And then come down there. Just going for 1 minute here. I want to hit up a lot of different areas of the hips and legs in this time and give you a short routine you can do to just make some more space through your hips. Halfway, sinking that bit deeper. And last breath there. Coming out and moving back. Keep your legs relatively similar to where they are. Just bring that back knee forward a little bit. And you're going to move into a quad stretch for that left-hand side. Just adjust your legs as you need to. Sorry, the right-hand side. So if your right leg is tucked under, you should feel it through that right hip and quad, driving your hips forward a little bit higher. You can stay on your elbows here or come down onto your back if that feels okay. Just go where is right for you, just for this stretch. These are the muscles that we did open before, so hopefully they're feeling a bit more open. Even after that couch stretch, now this is more open for me than it has been recently, so it's doing good things. With that right leg tucked under, stay on your left elbow and pop the right hand underneath your head. We're just going to rotate towards the left-hand side and coming open. Just really trying here to twist your torso so it's as parallel to the ground as possible. And last one, twist. Good. Coming back up, changing legs. That rotation with the hips still, but twisting through the body is really good for our backs. So coming now, right leg comes into that 90-degree, back leg is either straight or bent into deer. And we're just going to stretch forward and down 1 minute here, finding the best position for your torso to get a stretch through that outer glute and the hip. Last breath there. And shifting back, bring that left knee forward if you need, and then come back. Should be feeling it through your left-hand side, hip and quad, or one or the other, either onto your elbows or down onto your back. Just have 30 seconds before we start those rotations. These stretches are a great way to start your day. Good way to open up. It's really good to open up your hips before you train or before you're seated for the whole day, and also at night. But if you do it beforehand, it just means that during a session, your mobility is going to be a lot better. You'll be moving in really positive ways. So weight onto your right-hand side, opening and twisting into the left. Whew. And don't be strict about this. If you feel like you need to lift up your hips a little bit higher or let them rotate, just move in a way that feels like a good stretch for you. Just 2 to go. Good. From there, nice and simple, just untuck your legs, lying onto your back. Just one more static stretch before we go into something a little bit more active to finish up. So let's go into twisted roots or your variation of a twist. Just a minute each side here. So crossing your legs over, shift your hips over. We'll go right leg over the top, hips go over to the right, and then rotate knees towards the left. Try and keep those shoulders flat to the ground. See, my right one hovers a bit, but it's just opening up through the chest and back. Keeping the neck in a comfortable position. So I'm going to come back through center and change sides. So hips over to the left, left leg over, and then they drop towards the right. Just notice if there's a difference between this side and the other. Making some space for your day or winding down at night. Coming back through the center. And then this one here, we're going to finish with something a little bit more dynamic. Been doing this a lot during our sessions recently. Just found it's such good medicine for hips and back. So just having one knee, we'll go keep your left knee underneath your hip and then right leg out to the side. So in yoga, it's called gate pose, but we're going to change it up a little bit. Just putting all the movements together that we've been working on today. We're going to start with the right hand opening up to the sky, a nice big twist, and then tucking under like a big thread the needle. Once again, don't be too strict on the movement, just a bit of a flow. Hang out on the third one there. See if you can get your head or shoulder to the ground, and just try and keep your hip over your knee, so try not to sink back. Good, hand up to the sky and changing sides. So just changing hands only. This side's a bit trickier. You can see the range is nowhere near the same. So 3, as high as you can. Then hold on the third. Same thing, shoulder down. Oh, that feels so good. Back of the shoulder, groin, back. And hand back up to sky. Changing sides. Right knee underneath, left leg out to the side. Let's start with the easier side first. 3. Just notice if anything does feel different on this side. I definitely don't have anywhere near the range here. Just realized that's because I started the harder side first. 3 and hold. And changing sides. Oh, much better. Three and hold. Oh, how good does that feel? Reaching up. Okay, from here, nice and simple. We're just going to start in a ragdoll position. Bend your legs as much as you need. Slowly rolling up. Reach your arms up to the sky. One more time like that. Fold all the way down. Ragdoll up. Sweep, big breath in. Bit of a shoulder roll. Well done, everyone. Hopefully that's feeling good in your body and ready to get into the day or relax for the evening. 20 minutes of good hip and back medicine that you've just given to yourself. So well done. And we'll see you soon. Bye.